Hi friends, welcome back to Nacho's Nook. So today I'm going to go ahead and make up some more of my homemade Rotel cheese sauce. I'm using like a number 10 can. I did take this out Sunday when we were making the homemade macaroni and cheese with the kids, and I'm out of it in my cabinet. I used that the last time we had nachos. So I'm going to just bring you along and show you what I'm going to do. Excuse me. And it's a lot cheaper for me to buy it, I think, than buying the small cans or the 16-ounce cans at the grocery store. So the number 10 can has raised up in price since the food prices have went all crazy. It's now probably about $10 to $12 depending on where you buy it. So I buy that, and then usually what I just do is my sister had bought me some really super cheap tomatoes that were on sale. It was only 50 cents for that can, so that's really cheap, which makes it even cheaper. And then I have my freeze-dried hatch peppers. So what I'm just going to be doing is mixing this all together, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them in my pint jars and get that ready to can. I have my canner already on the stove getting warm, and we'll show you what we're doing here. So I have my cheese sitting right here. Now I like to make this a little bit thinner, so I go ahead and I do add the juice from the tomatoes. Some people do not. Now that's going to be a personal choice. I wish I would have chopped those tomatoes a little bit smaller. I thought they were more diced than that, but that's fine. I like petite diced, and I should have realized when I just saw diced. I should know better. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in a few hatch peppers. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this all stirred up. Get this mixed as good as I possibly can here. And I don't know for sure if you've ever made this yourself, and this is definitely not the alphabet approved. This is something that they do actually do on Rebel Canning. I mean, you have to feel comfortable and safe with this in order to do this. I have been doing this for years. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I don't feel like anything's going to be wrong. Now, I do cook this a little bit longer than what the internet says. I usually water back this for half an hour versus like the 15 minutes that they say to do or whatever. To me, I would just have everything warmed up. Everything's good to go. So I know everything's fine. So then what I do is I take my canning funnel. Well, that's bigger. I'm just going to use my bigger funnel. Try not to waste all my time trying to fill jars. Now you're still going to want to fill this within the 1 inch of headspace. Try not to go over that. Alright, so what's going to be happening is it's going to be looking like this. And I will debubble the still, clean the lids, and do everything like that. But I'm not going to bore you while I'm filling the jars. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got that all filled. Now what I'm going to do is debubble these. Make sure everything doesn't have like pockets that any bacteria or anything can grow. And then from this step, you take a brand new clean cloth, and you're going to go ahead and do the rims of the jar. Now I know like my neighbor, she doesn't eat over here very often. I've been trying to invite her over more, see if she doesn't mind coming over and everything like that. That's got a little bit more in that one. And so she came over last night, and I just made up a very small batch of this, just straight out of that big Pyrex container that I had, and made up some nachos with my own taco seasoning. And she says, that was so good, that really hit the spot, So I'm kind of glad that we're able to help. It's the same neighbor that I was watching her cat, her daughter's dog and her dog was playing in her daughter's yard, and they got so excited. They're not puppies, but they're still very small. They're younger dogs. they got all excited and they crashed into her and they really hurt her leg really bad. And the doctor didn't want her being by herself because she couldn't really get around too well, and she was walking around with a walker and everything like that, which is clearly not her style of doing stuff because she is fiercely independent. And I told her, I said, if it was somebody else other than you when this happened, because she was already so incredibly healthy, that somebody else that probably would have taken them down and they could have possibly died or something to that effect from the injury, because she says it's very depressing for her. She's so used to just running around and doing the things that she likes to do, and she still feels like she's not able to do it. So I totally get that from my trach stuff, so I get it. So I just told her, I said, being home from your daughter's house, not that she doesn't love her daughter, because she absolutely loves her daughter, just like I love my daughter, but being home from the hospital versus being in the hospital, I knew I would bloom when I was at home versus being in the hospital. And that's exactly what I did. So then you put the rings on, or the tops, then you put the bands on. And you just put it in, like just fingertip tight. You don't want to wrench this down. And I'll go ahead and put that, I don't know for sure if you can see the canner over there. Put that in over in the canner over there. And we will get this time started to go ahead and get these all nice and canned up. I try to keep at least the 110-pound or number 10 can physically canned up, because we do use that quite a bit. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be using that to can that once the time comes up and the boiling and all that stuff that happens. Then when this comes out, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what this looks like when it comes out. And of course, just let it on the countertop for the good half an hour, excuse me, one day. Let it cool. Don't move everything around, and then you're fine. And then you just put it, wash off the jars, put it in your storage, and it's good to go. So I will be back once this comes out of the canner and show you what that's looking like. Even looks like it doesn't change a bit. But I am actually using, I'm not using the 4-jar lids on these, because I still have just a few left from the Amish store. However, if you look down below, there is a 4-jar in the comments, or down in my stuff there. There is a 4-jar 10% off. Now, every time I do use the 4-jar and every time I do use the Amish ones, I do have a 100% seal rate. So if you're looking for some really good lids, those 4 jars are absolutely wonderful, and I do highly recommend trying some. So definitely look down below. I'll bring you back when this is done. Alright friends, here are my 6 jars. I just pulled them out probably about 2 minutes ago. They've not all sealed yet because I've just pulled them out. They're still very, very, very hot. But this will make it nice. I do not know how long this actually is shelf stable, since I never have it that long, since we use it a lot. But this does, like I said, this saves a lot of money. Next time I'd cut my tomatoes up a little bit more because I like smaller pieces of tomatoes. But that still will work, and it'll be just fine. So thank you very, very much for stopping by. I hope you have a very blessed and wonderful day.